competitive, ran up front.
Look at Mark Martin in the 55 as he battles Denny Hamlin. Mark is going to run a partial schedule most of the races, 24, 25 or so this season. Michael Waltrip will run a few, and
it was announced yesterday Elliott Sadler starting at Bristol is going to run about 5 races for MWR this year.
But Mark's not reaching for his AARP card just yet. He is still very much a part of this, as evidenced by the pole run yesterday. And his race today, he's in 4th place.
It's a typical Mark Martin race to me. Early on, he didn't push the issue, he let people go. Now that they're strung out a little bit, he's got his car like he wants it. Now he's racing.
And I know we keep saying 53-year-old Mark Martin, but I promise you, he's probably in better shape than 2/3 of our drivers. Has a very strong workout regimen, and what energizes his workout is music. The man loves rap music.
He must have it turned up wide open right now because he's rapping on up there.
Martin in 4th. Let's go back about 15th place. Back around Marcus Ambrose, Greg Biffle, Kurt Busch. There is Biffle in 15th. Matt?
Mike, the balance is better, but still loose for Greg Biffle. Typically at New Hampshire and Martinsville, we'll see the crew members who are the brake specialists travel to the races now at Phoenix. The speeds are up. They're braking much more violent, especially here at Phoenix. Biffle thinks he has some kind of braking issue. Matt Fuchsia looks at the car every time by. Your rotors are not glowing, although others are, but we'll pull some tape. That's the game plan on the next time he hits pit road to get a little more cooling to the brakes.
Yeah, Matt, we go to Martinsville, our shortest track. We all think about brakes, brakes, brakes. But here, the speeds, and you don't have that real low gear to slow you down when you go off in the corner.
I wouldn't be happy if I had tape on my brake ducts.
No,
That's
sir.
not a very good idea.
Kyle Busch leads the Subway Fresh Fit 500 by half a second over Kevin Harvick, Mark Martin, and Brad Keselowski.
Watching NASCAR on Fox from Phoenix. Now it's time for our AT&T mid-race report. Moments ago, Carl Edwards just said on the radio, this car is fast. Carl Edwards moving up inside the top 12 after being outside the top 20 much of the time. And anytime Kyle Busch and Kevin Harvick are near each other, that's big news because they have a history of not liking each other, but that's the top of the leaderboard. Darrell, who are you keeping an eye on?
Chris, we talked about they're doing great pit work in the pits. He started on the pole. He loves short tracks, and that's how this thing's racing today. Keep an eye on the 5-5.
Well, I'm looking at Dale Earnhardt Jr. because he was almost a lap down outside the top 25. He got a break. A caution fell inside the top 20. Now he just ran his fastest lap of the race. Dale Jr. is on the move.
Yeah, Michael, we've gathered a lot of information about what to do on pit road. We see that the left side tires are wearing, and changing them does a lot. Steve Burns, my last pit stop anytime after lap 230, left side tires only.
Will a loose right rear wheel keep Jimmy Johnson from winning this race? He had to restart back in 25th after running out front most of the day. He is now marching one at a time. He says the car is good. They're trying to be patient, Mike Coy.
Thanks, Steve. Look carefully at the top 10 at halfway, including last year's winner, Jeff Gordon, currently 9th. In the last 10 races at Phoenix, the winner has been in the top 10 at the halfway mark. Chris?
And Mike, we should keep an eye on Daytona 500 winner Matt Kenseth in the top 10 as well. That is your AT&T mid-race report, Mike. A lot of racing to go here in the Arizona desert.
Yeah, we're only halfway home. Weather, not a factor. Nice to see that after a long week in Daytona Beach to get the 500 in. Ending very early in the wee hours of Tuesday morning. Matt Kenseth the winner. Kyle Busch in control right now over Kevin Harvick by the narrowest of margins, 1 car length. Harvick continues to stalk the race leader.
Now, these first 3 cars here, the 18, the 29, and the 55, running real equal lap times. Harvick might be a tad quicker than the 18 of Busch.
Guys, when you look at our top 9 drivers right now, from Kyle Busch all the way back to Jeff Gordon, remember they all stayed out on that last caution. About another 25 laps, they'll have to make a green flag pit stop should we not get that caution.
Top three all under a blanket. Brad Keselowski is 3.2 seconds back with Hamlin on his bumper.
Hey, watch this.
For the lead, Harvick looks inside and is denied at turn 3.
Boy, while those guys are going at it, look at Mark Martin in that 55 car. He's just slowly but surely reeling them in.
There, he's sitting there lurking right now.
He truly is.
Mark's liking what he's seeing. I mean, Mark's a smart guy. He's analyzing these two guys. He's, y'all go ahead and wear your stuff out.
You know, the amazing thing about Mark Martin, with several races to go in 2011, he really didn't even know if he was going to have a ride for 2012 because he was looking for what Michael Waltrip gave him, an opportunity to run a semi-partial schedule.
Traffic. Harvick to the outside, but Kyle Busch to the inside of the wounded Paul Menard car.
Harvick's a little quicker right now, Mike. He's really stalking the 18 there, trying to figure out and get an opening here. If he does, I think he'll probably blow right by him.
And we know there's no love lost between those two drivers right there. A lot of past history with them in all the series.
Good thing it's not late in the race.
Now both on track and off. Oh, Kyle comes almost up into the side of David Stremmy's number 30. Harvick goes to the apron and back up for the lead into 3, and Kyle shoves it in there a car length further.
And see, Mark is sitting there waiting for something to happen here, and hopefully nothing bad. He just wants something to happen so he can make his move. Can't pass them both unless they get together.
Larry, if you're Kevin Harvick's crew chief right now, what do you tell him?
Well, I probably just let him do his own deal, but I'm a little bit nervous right now. I think this just goes to show you where our sport's at right now. They know leading laps, getting bonus points, every single point you can get is important for the big picture, and that's making the chase in the championship.
It's rather frustrating to be sitting there like Harvick is, and you see here now he's got a pretty good run alongside of Kyle. Might even do a little side drafting off of him if that's possible. But he get a little bit annoyed, and Kyle just overdrove the corner.
That's what that smoke was. That was brake smoke or possibly even sliding the wheel.
Slid the right front a little bit, and that opened the door, and there goes Harvick right by with Mark in hot pursuit.
Michael Waltrip with 144 laps to go. Why would two drivers be beating each other's brains out like this with so much of this race left to run?
Because they don't like each other. They're not going to give this fight up. You saw Kyle Busch overshoot the turn. He slid into turn 1. That's not like Kyle Busch. He's aggressive, but he makes very few mistakes. That's how much he wants to outrun Kevin Harvick.
Well, that's where he was really beating Harvick at the most, was getting into the corner, and you could see why, because he was really carrying a lot of speed in there. He just overdid it into 1.
And while those drivers were doing it, driver we're riding with, Brad Keselowski in that 2, he was coming into the picture.
That's right. He's moved up to within 1.8 seconds of the lead with 143 to go in Phoenix. Mark Martin by 0.8 of a second. Friday, The Ultimate Fighter premieres live only on FX, making its debut at its new home. 32 contenders face off in a special 2-hour premiere event. The Ultimate Fighter, now live, Friday, 9 p.m. only on FX. There is Kevin Harvick beginning to stretch it out just a little bit as he laps past David Gilliland. 49 J.J. Yaley, a couple of laps down as Mark Martin makes his way through.
You know, Larry, Childress made some changes on his race teams in the offseason. Right now, Harvick has a new crew chief, he and Shane Wilson. Shane Wilson was with Boyer, and this looks like maybe a good combination, Harvick and Shane Wilson.
It truly does. They had a great run and a great finish at Daytona. Now, just to bring you up to speed, we've been talking about our top 9 drivers did not pit that last caution, and it looks like that we're going to probably see those drivers have to hit pit road here in the next little bit. In fact, Chris DeVota told me that Kevin Harvick, he thinks that maybe he's not full of fuel. He may be coming earlier than any of the other drivers.
And Kyle Busch is coming in now. Green flag pit stop for a driver who's led 52 laps earlier today. Harvick now 1.9 seconds ahead of Mark Martin with Keselowski 3.5 back. Here's Matt.
Mike, about 15 laps ago, Dave Rogers asked Kyle how his left sides were doing. He said he had slight vibration. They were planning on pitting. He said, I'm coming now, I'm coming now, I'm coming now.